All right, first of all, you'll see two different options to play this piece. You can play it with the more advanced piano rhythm, which I will show you here in a second. And then there's a simplified version of that that's a little less busy if you prefer that. You'll see both of those options there for you to watch. The chords are going to be the same. And I wanted to start by showing you just the chord patterns that I'll be using, and then I'll show you the actual pattern to play them. So the first chord that you'll need to know is your B minor, and in this version this will actually match up with the advanced demo, so it's going to be a full octave there. That would be your B minor, a B, a D, an F sharp, and a B. That chord you're going to use a lot all the way throughout. The second progression that you'll go to is an F sharp minor, and I'm using the C sharps on the bottom and the top, and then your F sharp and your A in the middle. So that's your second chord pattern. Your next chord pattern has B octaves with a D and an E in the middle, and then that sounds like that. The next one that you'll need is your A chord. A is on the bottom and the top. E minor with G's on bottom and the top. So you have a G, B, E, and your G. You'll need a D, F sharp, A, and D. And if I were learning this, I'd probably just find my chart and I'd write these, I would write them down, the placement on those. On the final choruses, you're going to need this interesting little chord. It's got a C sharp octave with an E and an F sharp in the middle. That's actually going to walk up to a D sharp octave with those same two notes in the middle. I have large hands, so if you can't reach that, you can modify that. A C sharp minor with the E octaves. Then there's an F sharp minor in this version. C sharp minor again. There's this little interesting chord again with that D sharp walk up. Alright. And then this changes back and forth, and again you can modify this and play it differently, but I chose to play it. Sometimes the octaves start with the octave and come into the inner notes, and sometimes they go opposite that. So you'll see my hand changing back and forth. Again, modify that to fit your needs. So you might want to take just your chords as you're learning it and just practice them both ways so that you're comfortable playing those either way. And then when it first starts, it's just your right hand. That one's pretty easy. Just kind of think, kind of mysteriously, the piano does start this at the very beginning. And then your left hand comes in on octaves, which aren't hard. This next chord should drop down, but I'm out of keys, so if you have more keys I would drop that next one down an octave. Band comes in on this second time through. Pattern's all the same. And make sure those octaves come in ahead of the beat when they're supposed to, like this one. my C sharp, so that walks up, and then I jump back down. And this is one of those that starts on the inner notes and goes to the octave. Alright? And that's going to stay that way through that section. So your whole first section is the octave to the inner notes. And then when we get that the All of Us Has Gone Astray section, it switches back to the middle notes going to the octave. He was stricken, really back out. You can stay in there, but really back out. Even your octaves. I don't even know if you'll need those, but if you do put them in there, keep them light. And then in this section here, but was silent, you can start building back in. Just kind of feel it with your band as that starts to progress through there. And here we're going to get pretty strong. Though All of Us. Again, we're back to starting with those inner notes. The Lord has laid. The lyric on here is so rich. Love this song. Punishment has brought us peace. We're still on those inner notes going out. That takes us all the way up into the bridge, which is one of my favorite parts. I hope that broke that down and made sense. Now on the bridge, I follow the melody with my octaves. So your chords through the bridge, that's the first one. That's the second one. That's the third one. That's the fourth one. Alright, so those are the octaves that I'm doing, and my octaves kind of follow the melody that your worship leader will be singing. So the might, last section. Now this one I think is the toughest part of the song, but I'll just try to break it down for you. You're going to go back and forth between the pattern, the outside to the in or the in to the outside. You're going to start with the outside in. I'll slow it down, and it switches there. So it's different pattern here. And then we do that whole section again, the exact same way. Hope that makes sense. Now the outro, the very end of the song, your worship leader will either have the loop take that, because it switches to organ. If you want to play it, or if you have multiple people or multiple keyboards and you want to set that out, you can pick organ. Don't play it on the piano. But here are your chords and the placement for that. So here would be your A. That would be your C sharp minor. This is your B sus. Just changes to the D sharp for the B. And let me show you what that sounds like on organ, just so that you can hear me hold the notes. Hope this isn't too loud. So here's your A. Whoops. Sorry about that. What am I doing? So I'm sorry. Well, I guess maybe I'm not going to show you what it sounds like on organ. The point is, though, to make sure that you're holding your notes as you go into those progressions so that they all connect to one another. You don't want the individual chords to sound muffled. Hope that makes sense.